All right, my guest today is a local Grass Lake resident, a real estate agent. I know he sells a lot of real estate in Grass Lake, but all over Michigan. A lot of experience in the restaurant industry in Jackson, Chelsea. My guest is Blake Wyant. How's it going, buddy?
What's going on?
It's good to have you here.
Thank you. Yeah.
I kind of always like to start with like a little summary of your journey so far. Like, I know you have a lot of experience with restaurants. You've set up restaurants. You work with Common Grill.
Yep.
I think Grand River, right?
Yep.
So grew up in Chelsea?
Grass Lake.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, born and raised here.
Right. I think you told me that before.
Yeah, my first job was where the VI is. That was my first restaurant gig.
Really? What was it when you worked there?
It was called the Village Inn, the original.
Right.
Now it's called Sod's.
I seen something Missy's too.
Yeah, more Missy's too. She might be rebranding it.
Okay.
So I was there till I was 18, and the head chef at Common Grill called me on my 18th birthday. Said, "You want a job?" I was like, "Yeah."
Now, did he meet you somewhere before?
There.
Oh, okay.
He would come in and drink beer after shift, and I was always there cooking.
Right.
And he saw that I was just wiry and running around crazy.
Right.
So
he came, gotcha.
yeah, he called me. He's like, "Are you 18 yet?" I said, "Today's my birthday," and I filled out the paperwork, and then the journey started.
Right. And you ended up, before you left there, you were like one of the head chefs, right?
Yep. So by 20, I was the sous chef. 21, I was the head manager.
Wow.
Till I was 30, and then I wanted to test the outside world of
Yeah.
other restaurants.
So it was just kind of like, oh, just try something different. I'm young. I'm curious. Try some different things.
Test my abilities.
Yeah. Because you guys always stayed in connection. I know he was
Oh, yeah. He's great inspiration.
Yeah.
He's just a mentor. He's very smart, knows how to run business, and obviously you've seen with Prates and stuff like that. I like to take that knowledge and help others too, because it's seamless. Keep it simple is what he always said, and that's true to all restaurants.
And it's already a hard enough industry without, so if you have some inside, just mentorship or asking someone who's already done it or experience. I know what you did with Prate's Place was huge, helping them out with their developing their menu.
And they know business too, so it was very easy. Just set up the systems and step back, and now you get to watch it, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Well-built machine.
Yeah. Well, they went right to just doing all kinds of fun stuff because they got it all set up right, you know?
Yeah.
Now, are you still helping them develop food items? Or
I'll check in once a month, say, "Hey, how you guys doing?" But no, they're good.
Do the chefs there in the back get nervous when they see you coming to try the new dishes?
No.
Or they come and ask you about things?
Yeah.
What you think?
How was everything? It's good. Yeah, Brandon and I go back years.
Okay.
So it's always comfort.
Nice. Is he from Grass Lake too, or?
I don't know where he grew up.
Oh, okay.
He was he was a saute cook at Common Grill, and then when I went to Grand River Brewery, he was in Marshall, and he started running those establishments, and then started doing his own thing at the smoke truck, and turned into, I was like, "Hey, do you want to come smoke meats for Prates?" And came back later, he's like, "I'm going to run this place." I'm like, "Good for you."
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's a great family to work for.
Yeah.
And they're also like, if you're working for an established older restaurant, probably can be a little bit like they're so established, doesn't seem so fun and flexible, and it's not, like Matt's over there setting up tents for St. Patrick's Day.
He's on the mic mid-shift.
It was like I seen the bucket beer thing. I know he grew up downriver too, and I'm like, oh man, that reminds me of all those bars downriver. Like now you got buckets of beers. I don't know. Last time I went to any restaurant around here and got a bucket of beer.
Yeah. And it's just exciting to see downtown.
And for just such a small space, it's amazing all the things that are happening over there for sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm having at least a sandwich every week from Asher Creek too. That's a good place.
Asher Creek, Cattleman's. You can't go wrong downtown right now.
Yeah.
And then with Clavon coming to town with whatever he's gonna do.
Yeah. So I heard he's not buying Missy's Grass Shack building, those two buildings. He actually bought the Wells. Is what I heard.
When that one came live 2 weeks ago, I started. Kitty Ann, she works for production, reached out and said, "Hey, reach out to your people. The building's live. Here's the sales price." And I, got on the phone with some investors and whoever I could, and it didn't even make it past Saturday, and I got the call on Thursday.
Wow. Yeah, that's my favorite building downtown, I think.
7,000 square foot too.
Do you know what it sold for?
It was listed for 300, so I don't know.
Oh wow.
Cash, no contingencies, just came in and bought the building up.
But he did buy it. We think it was Clavon?
I don't know. I don't have a contract, right?
Yeah, I think I did. I heard
everyone was talking about it. So
yeah, somebody told me. Maybe it was Matt that told me.
Yeah.
But I think that's great because I feel like that's going to be more ready for them than trying to combine those two buildings. And
yeah, and if he still owns the other two, who knows what I'll do with those?
Right.
Because I thought they closed on them, but
Lots of moving and shaking. There really needs to be something just really, because like somebody has it, but then somebody shares the information. They might have seen like the contract or whatever, but you don't really want to go around sharing it because you're like, I don't know. Like it's kind of
exactly.
just hearsay unless you actually know for sure.
Like the Brates for a while, they were silent. No one really knew, right?
Yeah,
we knew.
I hope with the DDA's new website and Missy and what she's doing, that can be something that we get more a way to get. Especially with the downtown area, like we just know where to go to. Go to the DDA website. The second
Check
something
things
sells,
out.
there's a post there that tells you what's happening.
Yep.
That'd be nice. But yeah, so you had worked at Grand River too. Was that in the early days of Grand River Brewery?
It was Burka time. It was right before COVID. I came on. I was swamped, right, trying to learn everything, running Jackson, and we were busy. And then COVID hit, and when we reopened it hurt.
Right.
You had no staff, and everyone was making more on unemployment. But when we got trucking again, we were rocking. I mean, we had the patio. We were doing good, and then it just got, I was bouncing from Marshall to Jackson, helping every which one I could because there was no staff. So if they needed me at another establishment, I would go there. Right. And I just got tired. Yeah. It became hard, and so I stepped down, took 6 months off work, tried to find out what I was going to do. No idea.
Then real estate.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was golfing with Bruce.
Yeah.
Bruce Maxon, the legend, and he's like, "You should try it. Go meet Janet." I'm like, "All right."
Yeah.
Met Janet and
took the study for the test and got your license.
Yeah, and I hadn't taken a test in I don't know.
Yeah. I'm doing that right now, studying for my Part 107, and I'm like,
yeah.
I haven't had to do this in a long time, like retain information to pass.
Flashcards and
like driving some information in my head that and a lot of it's just for the test, and then after you're done, you don't even need it.
It's all about learning in person too. But man, when you pass that test, I was like, I don't think I stopped smiling for 2 days. I was like, holy, I just passed the test.
I'm a real estate agent, and that helps you out a lot too with your personal finances, doesn't it? Like there's a lot of things you can do with personal home and different things. Like you can
a lot of write-offs, right? Yeah, I mean, because we have home offices. COVID changed a lot of things.
Right.
I wasn't in real estate, but now that I know that, like our offices at home definitely become a write-off. Parts of our home, right?
Right. Yeah.
But a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah, I know. Like if you have LLC, like everybody should have an LLC. A lot of people will tell you that, especially if you can surround it around stuff you're already interested in. So if you do a lot of tooling around in your garage, get an LLC as a mechanic or something, and then now all your tools and your car parts can be, write off. Which is what I've done with Michigan Media House. I love technology, TVs, instruments, cameras. So it's like, I really didn't care so much how much taxes hit different when you own a business too. Because like when you get your check and it's pre-tax, you're like, you don't see it. Your business you work for is the tax collector, and you just see your final check. But when you make the money, and then you're like, okay, I want to put this in my personal account, and then the government wants 25%. It's like, where were you? Like, what are you, the part owner?
Yeah,
you own 25% of my company.
Yep. The write-offs. I mean, and all of it. The first year of it, I didn't quite understand, and I did a lot of sales. Right. So then I got a tax bill. I was like, what? Yeah. So after I broke it down, I was like, man, this is the lowest amount of money I've made since I was 20. Right. And I had a great
when you first
year.
Started?
Yeah. But I won Rookie of the Year. I did all these sales, and it was like crazy. And then I saw the tax bill, and I was like, man, I didn't make anything. And I thought about giving up. And I was like, man, I don't know if I can do this. I'll give it one more year. Took off.
Really?
Unbelievable. Yeah, I closed by myself. I didn't have a team yet. I started a team last year. I closed 45 deals by myself. Almost $9 million.
That'll make you busy.
Oh, I was everywhere.
Yeah.
And those months, I mean, there was months where you're making big money. Yeah. And then there's some where you don't do anything. But that whole year was like, what is going on? I need a team. And Janet's like, no, keep doing it by yourself. And I did. But then this past year hit, and same thing. Got rocking again. And Ruby and myself were always working together in Jackson County and made a team. Yeah. And then it took off even more.
So now it's you, her, and one more person. You got 3 people?
Yep. So we got Brendan Tripp as well. So he's a local police officer in Jackson, full-time. Okay. So I sold him a house, and then, like, I don't know, 6 months later, he's, I want to talk about it.
Yeah, I thought you were mostly in Grass Lake, but when we were talking the other day, you said you're up in Ypsi, and you're all over the place now.
Yeah, I don't have boundaries. Some people stick to their comfort zone. not so much comfort zone, but like the market they know and analyze that and stick to that. Like I'm in Jerome, I'll go wherever.
Right. Now you try to have a physical presence in those other communities as well, like go to networking events and things? Or? No.
Chelsea, yeah, I'm in the bowling league, right?
Right.
To sponsor my team. We'll do events in Chelsea because that's where our office is.
Right.
But Grass Lake, obviously, we do the Cash Bash. I live right in town.
Right.
We try to I coach 2 teams this year, so very, very present in Grass Lake.
And you probably find that you get most of your work through, like, in this area because of your activity and just people knowing you more, right?
Yeah. Well, everyone knows Bruce, so they call him, but...
Yeah.
But Grass Lake, it's just a hard market right now.
Right.
I think there's like 16 active homes, and only 2 of them are actually active. The rest of them are under contract.
Yeah. A lot of people want to be out here. But
I know. And as soon as they come up and they're nice, they're gone.
Yeah. I know, like, I'm always looking on the other side of 94, and they just hold on to their houses over there, being around all that state land. Nobody wants to get rid of it. Same thing with lake houses. I mean, you got to work really hard to manifest a home on a lake,
or know people. And that's where we're getting to now is we get pocket listings, and you have buyers, right?
Right.
You're looking for a house in Grass Lake. All of a sudden, things start coming my way, and we can just provide houses for people off the market. Like lake houses, like over on 94, mine just went live on Glen Road, surrounded by state land. But, you always have buyers, and you text it to them like, hey, I got a listing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Like before it goes online to the public, you can kind of get the first dibs. Now, those listings that are from your real estate, because you work with Reinhart.
Yep.
So it's Reinhart's listing, so you get like first dibs to reach out to your clients.
Yeah. So most of the clients reach out to us now, and then we'll sign on the contract with the listing, and then promote it with other people.
Right.
Have a listing date, things like that.
Yeah. It's crazy you're here because you actually just sold my neighbor's house. They just moved out Saturday.
Yep,
Was their
10
last
feet
day.
away from us.
Yeah, 10 feet exactly.
That was the hardest one of my career so far.
Really?
I mean, just the process in which, and you go, I think it was on the market 9 months.
Right.
We got it from an agent that wasn't representing them fully, unfortunately. And when I took it over, it was back against the wall for some time.
Yeah, and they were under the gun to get it sold. And yeah, a lot of unique paperwork and different things, and but it got done
nonstop. And again, they're extremely grateful, and we ended up getting multiple offers on the last stint and got it sold quick. So
yeah, it's always nerve-wracking getting new neighbors. You're like, So I'm just over here like yesterday. So it was probably their agent maybe stopped by to
I was
make
over
sure
there giving her
everything's
keys.
good. Yeah, but I'm like, is that them?
It's a younger couple.
Yeah, it is.
I saw a photo. Yeah.
Okay, I thought maybe because I heard that they were in Italy or something. I thought maybe like they were gonna be like an older couple, like. But that's
old souls, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean a younger couple in Italy and ready to completely renovate it and stuff, and piquing my interest. See who moves in there.
Yeah.
What's nice is I put up that fence, so. If we don't get
like
along, I don't have to. Before that fence was there, it was awkward. Like I remember I was outside, like I just felt like I always had to talk to even my old neighbors, and it was like my old neighbors I didn't really talk to that much, so it would be like awkward,
The people before them.
Yeah. So, but like I said, now it's a fence. Now I gotta to see me, or for them to see me, or me to see them, I have to tiptoe or go up to the fence like Mr. Wilson. Yeah. Howdy ho, neighbor.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got options. We'll see. But I'm sure they'll be great. I get along with most people. So as long as they're not, it doesn't sound like they're the kind of people that'll be out there fighting. That's the worst. You get like domestic screaming and shouting.
We see it all as realtors too. I mean, those kind of houses, you can tell.
Yeah. That's probably the worst thing that happens. Because if somebody's just quiet, that's fine, But if you hear, because you also have to list it in. Like, this is a terrible thing.
What is going on?
Hey, you, John, just go. Your door's slamming and stuff. You're going to be like, oh, he's in trouble over there,
Cops are here again. Get a beer. Let's watch.
Yep. That's half hour. When I first moved out here, man, it was, I grew up downriver, move out here, and somebody told me, like, yeah, if you call the police, it takes about a half hour. And I was like, growing up in an area where I needed the police, I was just like, what? Like, that's scary. And then after living out here for a year or two, I'm like, oh, that's because you never need the police.
Yeah.
You
can just call your neighbor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like a whole different thing. That's kind of like the point I say when sometimes, I don't go political on this show, but when people would say like, oh, we need to like downsize police, I'm like, it sounds like you've never lived in an area that needed the police. You know what I'm saying? Because some certain areas, things just happen,
nonstop.
Someone just, drunk ends up driving down the street and,
Yeah.
making, you just so many people. It's such a dense area
Yep.
that you're going to have some crazies.
Yeah. Out here, we don't. I mean,
Yeah.
it's quiet.
Yeah.
Most people in Grass Lake outskirts where we live, doors are unlocked, whatever. You can just.
Yeah. Also, it's like, when you live in a dense area like downriver or whatever, you're around so many people, you get numb to it and you don't even like make eye contact or wave at people, But like out here, I notice right away. It's like, I gotta, like, sometimes I miss it. Like, I wonder if that was like, so like, cause people wave in cars, you gotta be looking in cars to make eye contact and wave, It's a whole different, vibe for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like you're in it for real estate, doubling down and sticking with it, huh?
Yeah, we've dove in pretty hard. We started marketing ourselves and doing more, sponsorships, growing the team, obviously. Ruby and myself really took off last year, and it's going to be exciting to see what a whole year does with both of us and Brendan coming on.
Yeah.
He's new and he's already got a closing. He's got another one under contract. So as a new agent, that's huge.
Yeah.
You're not promised a closing for like 6 months.
Yeah.
Right. As an agent, when you're new, it's like, good luck.
Yeah. You're getting like the scraps, or you're, got to do the work.
You got to build yourself up. And, it's really, I don't know. It's made me a better person too. I can honestly say that, because you got to be the best you every single day.
Right.
People call and they need you to be on your game and
instill confidence.
It's just like the restaurants. You got
Yeah.
to stay calm. You got to, keep the deal calm, because if you're freaking out, they're freaking out.
Right. It's definitely a service. It's still a service industry.
Yep.
And you're providing a service, and very important service, because that's people's number one asset they own. You know.
Oh, yeah.
And the
It's
biggest thing they could be doing, moving. Picking up all their stuff and moving, or that transition of selling a house, buying a house, the transition in between. It's nice to have somebody competent and reassuring by your side. That's like, oh no, this happens all the time. It's fine. It's gonna. This is how this rolls. And you want that with any service, even somebody working on your car. You want somebody that can explain it very simply to you. What they're doing, why they're doing it. And it's
what
still
happens
confidence.
next.
Yeah.
And
you want people to, let me make a call and
Yep. Understanding what's going on.
Making me nervous.
A lot of people. How many houses have you bought?
One.
Yeah, so unless you're jumping around, you're not going to buy a whole lot, and you're going to remember that experience if it was bad or good.
Yeah.
It's not about the fancy gifts or anything like that. It's about the experience between each other and how the investment went. If you get screwed over, did you?
Right.
Can you speak good of your agent going forward, or are you going to call them again?
Right.
And
that's also how you get more work too. It's just people having that good experience, and word of mouth is like massive for any business.
Oh, it's and it speaks to itself when no knocking them if they sell 6 houses, but they're like $3 million homes. But I'd rather have 45 people call me than 6.
Right.
That's huge. Word of mouth, and we don't pay for listings. We don't pay for leads. You can do that lead gen type of stuff. We put ourselves out there.
Yeah.
I'm working at Prates,
right,
for example. Didn't have to do that. But I want to do that.
That's why I was asking the question, like, do you see a lot more when in the communities that you're active in? Because I've noticed that just I've said many times that, face to face is like number one. The best way to sell. You actually meet somebody, shake their hands. They're watching you, seeing your face, getting a good, vibe of like who you are, and then
go be you. You get with this job. I learned real quick. 90 hours in a restaurant. You got your pillow and your bed and your shower and work.
Right.
Like that's about it.
Right.
With real estate, my first year I was doing landscaping. I worked at Judy's Flower Shop.
Oh, I didn't know you.
I
didn't know you worked there.
Thompson's Pizza.
Yeah.
The golf course. I was there for 3 years.
Yeah.
Up at Calderon and watched. That place is phenomenal now.
Yeah.
But you get to do what you love, and you still put your face out there.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, I do real estate X amount of hours a week, but really I can go do this too.
Yeah.
I can go do, we're really going to start gearing towards private cook classes, chef classes.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere. I'm just trying to find a venue and start rolling out, knife skills, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm good at. I love food.
It'd be great for like kids. I know there's a place in Ann Arbor next to that pizza place, not Blaze. This really fancy pizza place. Me and Marla love it. It's over off Plymouth Road, I think, or.
Is it in a plaza?
Plaza, yeah, by my Lululemon and stuff right there. Not Plymouth Road.
I know exactly what
Yeah,
you're talking about.
but they do like cook classes,
Sur la
and they have
table.
like a kid cook class, and like my son gets really into just doing weird stuff like mixing drinks. He's like, try this drink, like
Yep.
I mix this Gatorade with that Gatorade. I made a new Gatorade flavor. Like he was doing all kinds of weird stuff like that. And Marla was like, he's a little chef. We gotta get him in like a class, but it's kind of inconvenient because it's all the way out in Ann Arbor, So
But to be able to provide that and even teach kids how to use a knife safely, and
yeah,
I mean, when I was in high school, that the teacher taught me, he's like, knife skills can take you anywhere. Just
Yeah.
learn them. And I was like, all right, I've chopped myself numerous times, but man, confidence with a knife in the kitchen,
yeah.
literally, that takes you anywhere.
I feel like I can get things done with a knife, but I'm probably lacking. There's probably definitely some things you could teach me with that. Yeah, that'd be cool if you could do that at a. It's hard to find the spot, right? I mean, because you want
a nice
big
venue
open,
with a big kitchen.
yeah, where people can stand around and look at.
Something like this.
Yeah.
You can watch me on TV while I do this too.
Right.
And that's what that place has. I went in there actually, and I applied to help them.
Oh,
but
really?
they didn't need anybody.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, man, I could really showcase myself here.
Yeah.
Put my stuff on, my logos, and
Right.
but also I'm a chef.
Yeah. Yeah, just getting yourself out there in fun ways that you like, doing stuff you like to do that gets you around people, and
Yep.
yeah, do real estate.
Yep. Because I'm not shy. Like, I like to get out there and talk to anyone and everyone. So, also helping people and doing stuff like that is fun.
Yeah, a lot of the work I've gotten from clients have just come from the same kind of thing, just being around.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then, like I got like a company, Trappers Plumbing. They're in Dearborn Heights. But somebody out here said, "Oh, this guy has done quite a few websites for people in the Grass Lake area. You should check him out."
Mhm.
So it's just because my name's out,
Yeah.
it's
All
getting
your
floated
websites are
around,
awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
When we went out and chatted that one night, I had to compliment because it was like, we have our we have our websites provided for us. But I was like, man, that thing is like smooth. It's interactive and
Right.
it's beneficial to those companies.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier to adapt it. I've been trying to think more about how, I just want to make sure that whatever I give you is something that's going to move the needle for you in some
Right.
kind of way. And I mean, I think adding the ability to do blog posts to, I know that they're listed, but maybe in your own voice to be able to share,
Yep.
and drive people there, and where there's a button to contact you instead of, to hit the button to some other real estate agent,
And that's what really happens. You say contact agent on Zillow. It's probably not contacting me. It's contacting whoever is paying for leads.
Yeah. But the site that you go to right now, if they bump around, it does go to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just I have a buddy in Chelsea. He has Huddle marketing, but he does like really high end stuff. Like he works with a designer. They mock it up. I mean, it's really high end websites. But you're paying 10, 20, 30 grand.
Yeah, that's crazy.
so
But
my-
they see
my-
it in return too as a business. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
and if you're a big enough business, you probably do want that because there's all kinds of cool stuff he sets up. But with the system I use, it's a way to get them built fast and for a good price for those small businesses. Kind of like what you're talking about. Like, yeah, I could probably try to target giant businesses, but I like working with local small businesses with passionate owners, and and
The
where I
world
can
that's
really
never been
move-
there for them.
Yeah,
I mean, it simplifies it and also brings business when they can't spend the time marketing.
yeah, and I feel like I can really move the needle for them because they don't usually. If they think about hiring a digital somebody to be their digital marketer, do their website like a professional, they just don't even start looking because they're just like, I can't afford that. I know it's going to be
Yep.
tens, $20,000. I can't, which it used to be. Now it's not. You know, like that tool I licensed to build my sites and do all the automations and do the, AI, different AI tools and newsletter and CRM. It's got everything built in. So I can build out all the tools very easily and make them a nice intuitive because nobody is technically savvy really. So
I know.
like when you can put everything right there in their dashboard with quick little links and things, it's a huge.
Yeah, the world needs it right now.
Yeah.
That's
And some people aren't checking their email, so they want a little bump text message when a lead comes in, not an email, which is understandable. Like most lawn care guys or guys in like, home services kind of stuff.
Yeah,
They're in their truck all day. They got their phone. They don't even remember their email login.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like getting that text where they could just hit the phone number right away and be like, hey, yeah, you requested a quote. What are we looking at?
Yep.
It's huge because you want to get back to people quick
Yeah.
for sure.
And that's awesome that you can do that too. The systems that are available now,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's just, it's everything kind of becomes democratized and then it gets easier. I mean, even video back in the day, to be a video producer, you'd have to spend 40 grand to have a decent enough camera and an editing suite or
now
whatever.
they overproduce them, so the price is smaller.
Yeah. Now it's like anybody can do it with a phone and CapCut. You know, you can make a movie. You know,
Yeah.
And that's wild to think that's 50, 100 years. You know, 100 years ago we didn't even have TVs. You know.
Yep.
It's wild. It's wild how fast things move, but also crazy. You know, it's just a crazy time right now in the world with technology.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Seeing where it goes. Sometimes I see the things we bicker and fight about, and I'm like, you guys realize that we have some real discussions coming in the near future about like what's right or wrong about different things. You know, there's going to be some, you know, whether it's CRISPR and editing genes. Like, is that okay? Is that okay? Can you compete after you get an edited gene? You know, like
Yeah.
we're going to have to grow up and be able to have some serious discussions fast. You know.
And no one will ever remember the days where you had to go to Blockbuster to get movies.
Right.
All that is gone.
Yep. I remember. Well, it was a great time though. Like, oh man, have you seen those like videos on like your feed where it's like some nostalgic music and it just shows clips of like the 90s and stuff? It almost makes you cry every time. You're like, oh man, that was a simpler time.
Hot Now. Grandma would take me to Hot Now.
Yep.
Blockbuster night, like, or Hollywood Video, whatever it was in Chelsea. I mean,
pick out your movie.
Yep. Oh, that was, what?
Yeah.
We're going.
Anything but nothing behind the curtain.
Yep.
Well, you'd be really curious about that curtain.
Like, what is that?
Because you were told you can't go in there. You just
Yep.
be like, or you see somebody come out and you're like, ooh. You know?
And movie theaters, too. I mean, it's so hard to even think that they can still be open. You can just buy whatever movie you want.
Yeah.
On
Well,
Prime
that's
or,
what was the worry during COVID was like they were saying, you know, because instead of movie theaters, because they weren't open, they started just doing the thing where you can rent a movie for $40 or $20, like the price of a family ticket, family tickets at a theater. And, you know, there's a lot of people saying that those studios, they actually preferred that because when they do movie theaters, they have to do like a discount. So a lot of people are seeing the movies, they're not making as much money.
Yeah.
They make more money if you rent the movie for $30 when it premieres, you know. And they still do that. You know, you can watch a movie that just got into theaters, but you're going to pay $30.
Yep.
Studios would rather have
we do
that
it
because we have to protect those theaters. I do like.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we go once every 2 weeks at least.
Yep.
We go to Imagine Celine.
For those big movies, we'll definitely take the kids.
Yeah.
1 or 2, whatever it might be, because it's that's a core memory. Go and get some popcorn and too much candy, and
Oh yeah.
you can do it in your basement, but
Yeah.
it's not the same.
And those theaters are freaking crazy now with the sound and the sound design in these movies.
Yep.
Like we went and seen Dune, and we seen it at one of the really fancy Imagine ones. And it had like Adobe Atmos or whatever, and it felt like somebody was whispering in my ear. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the sound design was so cool. Like me and Evan were like looking at each other like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is a cool experience. And we love Celine. I mean, that's the only theater we go to, Celine Imagine. You know, like we used to go to Jackson and stuff, but yeah, Imagine is just next level for theaters. You get the reclining seats.
Is that the one that had they had beer like before a lot of people? Do they sell alcohol there?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
You haven't went to it?
Maybe we've been there.
Okay. Yeah, we make the drive. It's in Ann Arbor. Or Celine. Since it's
Okay.
Celine.
Yeah.
But it's an easy drive. Then we just, yeah. That's just, I went there, like, we went there and that was it. We just never went to another theater after that.
It's been a while. I can't. Yeah.
Marla was actually in one of the commercials that play before it because the guy who did her Christmas movie gets hired by the owners to do like the little promotional things before the movie. So for a while there, we'd go and Marla would be in the beginning of the thing.
That's funny.
That was pretty fun. And she'd always get pictures from people. Like, they snap a picture. Was that Marla? Yeah. Yeah, she's got a little local celebrity thing going on. It's funny. But yeah, I'd love to do some of those. That'd be fun. But I think they're pretty locked down with that. With Sam, he's a good producer. So, but yeah, they're always doing fun stuff and charities and working with other companies. And I believe it started in Michigan too. You know, Michigan-based company. There's quite a few of them. But yeah, Imagine's next level theater. Yeah, for sure. Kind of bummed that purple one left in Jackson. That used to kind of be one of our go-tos.
What was it called? You got Jackson 10. That one's still, yeah.
GQT, or is that the Jackson 10?
I think Jackson 10 is still alive.
Yeah, and this one was like a
The purple one was-
GQT or something like that. Yeah.
You can't have two within. I mean, it used to be they would have different times and different movies.
Yeah.
Oh, which one are we going to?
And that one had like I do like those theaters because they do have like a little nostalgic feel to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially when you've been only doing Imagine for a while and you
Yep.
walk into those theaters, you're like,
Yeah, it's old school. It's old school, and I mean, I think we went to go see Austin Powers like 3 days in a row as a group of kids. So it always just takes back
yeah.
those memories.
When we were younger, I mean, of course, you always push it when you're a certain age.
Mm-hmm.
But we, one person would buy a ticket and open the back door for us. You know, three more guys
The
would walk
exit.
in. Yeah. Or, you have nothing going on when you're a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd watch a movie and then we'd plan to like, and then we can duck into this one. So
Mm-hmm.
we'd go and watch 2 movies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
At least we're staying out of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really take any money out of people's pockets.
Yep.
But yeah, renting videos were, because I could pretty much rent anything I want. My parents would just be like, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to rent, but you'd be able to get 3 movies. You weren't getting new movies. You get 3 or 4, and that was your weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I was like a little guy, and I also didn't have my glasses then, so I'd be like sitting 5 feet from the TV.
Mm-hmm. Rent some video games too. They used to do
Yeah.
that, and yeah.
Me and my buddies used to do that a lot at the Hollywood movies. There was like they had a good selection. Rent a movie or rent a game and beat it, or just play it
Nonstop for 24 hours.
So much time. We had so much time.
And now it's like I tried to play on Saturday night with my buddies. We're all scattered
Right.
around the states, and it was like, all right, get on. And I got like an hour and a half, and I'm like, guys, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah. What do you play?
We were playing Battlefield.
Yeah.
And then we went to Rocket League, cars and soccer
That's
and
fun.
whatever. It's the craziest, simple game that's so competitive.
Yeah. That's a good one. I used to play that a lot with my son.
And then they went on to play, Marvels. That's the new game out right now.
Yeah, my
Marvel
boy,
Rivals.
my son got into that.
It's too sweaty for me. It's too aggressive.
Yeah.
Like everyone's trying hard. I'm like, I'm not good enough. I don't
Yeah.
have the time to do it.
That's kind of like Overwatch, like that team-based.
It's identical.
technical.
They just
Yeah.
brought in Marvel people, and
I'm always, I kind of lean towards the shooters. Like it's fast-paced, it's like adrenaline going, and it's simple what it is. It's just like, be snappy.
done in 10 minutes. All right, I'm good.
Be snappy. Aim for the head. Try to get, so I usually like to get up there and grind. And like when I do, usually it was Call of Duty, but usually play until I'm back at the top of the room. It's like, okay, yeah, I still got it.
Yep.
Like I still.
COVID brought that back.
Yeah.
That's when I played Call of Duty. I didn't play Call of Duty forever, and then COVID hit, and off for 35 days.
Yeah.
We would just.
I did too.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
the new Black. I don't even remember what came out, but we played every single day. We'd all link up. Hey guys, get on at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Every day. It was crazy.
I was off like my work did something where it's like I would work this day and then my partner would work the next day. Well, it was like for isolation and whatnot. But yeah, so those days and my buddies were off too. So we did the same exact thing. I'd be up there and
It took you back. It was
Yeah.
like 30. I was 31 years old, and I'm like, I haven't done this. I mean, you played games every day. You couldn't do anything.
right.
Like yeah.
Reminded you like your summer breaks or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd hang out with my daughter all day, and then we'd play games all night. Wake up. All right, what are we doing today?
Yeah.
Can't go to the store. Can't do this.
I still like it, but man, it can pull you in, especially if you have a group you start playing with. And I mean, I had times where, probably around COVID, but it's kind of sad when I would look at my like play time because they log it, they save it, and you
Oh,
can go
yeah.
look at it, and you're like, 8 days
of my life.
of my life, And then I'm sitting here looking like I got my studio, I got my business, like I'm like, so then I just like take the Xbox away, and then. Sorry
Yeah.
guys, I'm out for a while.
Yeah.
I'm not playing tonight, and I'm playing for a while. And then recently, I just started doing like my son has a PS5 that he doesn't really use too much, so I got in like the Spider-Mans because it's like now nobody's calling me to get on. I
Yep.
can just jump on and
For an
play.
hour or two.
And that's actually a really fun, fast-paced, cool game when you're flying and flipping and doing these crazy tricks. And it's very like you move around a lot, so it's a
Yep.
fun game, and there's a story to it.
Yep.
So I beat like 2 of those, but it was very slow, a lot less gameplay than,
Yeah.
Because what are you trying to do? Like when you're, I mean,
Wait.
it's relaxing to get on a game, but at some point you're like, what am I?
What am I even doing?
What
I'm
am I-
looking
am I
at a
gr-
screen right now.
Yeah, it feels like I'm grinding, but I'm grinding for what? Some gun
Yeah.
camouflage? At the end of the day, it's almost like like
but
a slot machine.
It's so much better when it's like a group of 6 of you and you got the better gun.
Yeah.
Like, but then when they're all gone and you're playing by yourself, it's like, man, what am I doing?
Yeah.
It was fun.
That's usually when you would grind the hardest because you're like, all right, I'm using my double XPs and just play this thing and like, grind. And it is fun playing with buddies, but it's almost like you want to play a slow paced game because like some of those, you're playing Warzone or something. You're not really getting to talk too much before someone's like, shut up.
Shut up, hell.
Yeah. And then, so you're just in the game. So you're not even getting to really like talk and catch up with people.
Yep.
Whereas if you're playing.
Well, Battlefield's a bit different. That's slow paced war.
Yeah.
That game's fun.
My buddies got into that for a while and it switched and I stayed on Call of Duty, but they said it was great.
It's
and
just,
I guess the new one's like nuts.
You could run for 5 minutes in the video game world and you haven't seen a person. So you can just talk up life.
Yeah.
Or hide in a helicopter while you talk up life.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to check out I was actually telling him I think when winter rolls around, starts approaching again for this year, I might add it back.
That's
in there.
When it's summertime, like this time, I have way too much. I might as well just unplug it.
Right.
We're fishing, we're coaching, we're golfing,
Yeah.
We got our big garden that we always do, and there's no time.
It's good for that when you have the time and you just want to have that kind of like just dumb down, relax. Because I can't do that with movies now. I just fall asleep.
Yeah, I can. I watch them in 3 parts. I'll get going and be like, all right, phone calls.
I'm better off watching a movie like on my phone while I'm doing dishes and working on stuff.
Yep.
Like I'm remodeling my bathroom right now, and I was just painting and binge watching a show. And I just completely zoned out, and then I'm done. It's all painted. Like that's a good feeling. Yeah. That and some project beers, you just get in a weird zone.
Yep.
You just get done. I was actually like 2 weeks no drinking and feeling good, but I started this project to do the bathroom. Didn't even think about it. Stopped and got a case of beer. It's like I gotta have my project beer.
I know. I got into that conversation yesterday because I'm over 3 months without drinking, and my buddy was always like, "You want to try beer?" I was like, I would try it.
Yeah.
I'll drink again, but I had to get out of that mindset of like, I'm gonna go mow the lawn. I'm gonna get a 12-pack.
Right. Yeah.
So,
you get that itch whenever you quit anything.
Yeah.
You go and reach for it. You're like, oh yeah, sorry, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. It's like, but I'm gonna drink again. I know that.
Yeah.
It's just I gotta control it.
But then you get one itch like, and I had this back in the day when I smoked like for a long time, and I would quit, for a week or 2 weeks, and then like. You end up just going into a gas station, buying a pack of cigarettes, lighting it up, and you're like, "Whoa, what did I just do?"
Yeah,
because you just
out of habit. You had a stressful day.
You had 1 week moment. That's kind of what happened with the project thing. I didn't even think about it. I'm just like, "Oh, I know I'm going to do this and this when I get home. I'm going to start the demo." And I end up just arriving at my house with a case of beer. Like it just happened. It was like the same kind of thing. Just second nature. The habits took over. I was on autopilot, and but. I know I kind of started slowing down with drinking and from kind of like what we were talking about with the money. Like you don't really realize the taxes until you're working for yourself and paying the taxes, and you're like, wow, this is actually a lot of taxes that somebody wants for nothing. It seems like, but it's like the same thing when it comes to your capabilities. Like you could show up to a 9-to-5 job at 20% of your capability and get a paycheck, but when you work for yourself, like me, I have like 3 different clients waiting for some work, and it's like, it feels like the limit is only set by me and my capabilities and my mental clarity and stuff. So is this making me more clear? No, it's not, so
exactly.
Cut it out so that I can serve more, do more,
Yeah, if you tell yourself you're going to clean the house in 3 hours instead of 1, you're going to do it in 3 hours.
Right.
You can do it in 1.
Yeah.
You can rock it.
Yeah.
Just focus and get to it.
But yeah, there's definitely like that becomes more valuable when you're running your own business and you're trying to drive something forward.
It makes you a better person. I'm telling you, like if I went back to when I was in restaurants, I never took care of myself. I was just always busy.
Yeah.
Like my finances took care of themselves because I couldn't sit at home and spend money.
Yeah. And you're doing cold plunges and you're running and you're working out and stuff like that. So like you can definitely have beers. You can have a couple beers every day and still be healthy.
There's got to be the limit though. And that's where it was like, I work from home. So wintertime hits, what do we do? Drink, kids get in bed, you're done with work, I'm going to have a whiskey. I'm going to have 2.
Yeah.
Right? Or I'm going to have a beer today. Instead of, focusing, that's the grind time now I've learned with real estate. If you're not grinding during the wintertime, you're missing out on so much.
Yeah.
Because that's when everyone's got holidays and stuff like that. Well, I better sit down and really build my clientele and start marketing because once springtime comes, they're going to remember that.
Right.
I've been calling them. I've been there, and that's really been the biggest driver behind the no drinking thing too.
Yeah.
I got to be the best me right now.
Yeah.
If we want to build this and be where we want to be
Yeah.
and provide what we're providing, real honest artwork, agents, and communication, we got to be on point.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
that's really what is the driver behind it.
Yeah.
Because I could have a beer today.
Yeah,
I
like
could.
yeah, like I was saying, like if you have a 9-to-5 job, you're not the leader. You're not driving this business.
Yeah.
You're just
You're
showing
living
up.
someone else's dream.
So who cares, But when you really see that feedback of like, oh, it's on my shoulders. So, his
Yep.
success is completely dependent on me, and it is funny with alcohol. It did kind of, I mean, for good reasons. We all understand why. Like it kind of did consume culture. Like when I wasn't drinking, I was just kind of watching these YouTube videos just to motivate me. Like seeing there's a lot of people making good points. Like you're literally taking a poison that affects your body in a negative way.
Yep.
And when you think about it like that, when someone says, "Hey, come celebrate and have some poison," like that's how you should look at it.
Yeah.
And it's weird. And a lot of times when people quit, you think like, "Oh man, it's gonna be awkward when I go over there and
Not
tell
drink,
them I don't
but
want to
actually
drink."
it's fine. But
Yeah.
it's the one drug you have to explain to people why you're not doing it.
Yeah.
It's not like you're gonna be like, why aren't you doing heroin?
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, oh, I'm sorry. Let's do heroin.
Right.
No.
Yeah. People will like strong arm or just
Like,
get,
why
especially.
aren't you drinking? Well, I'm just not.
Yeah.
It's all good, man. Enjoy your beer. Like I'm like me. I'm gonna drink again. I know that. But for right now, I'm just focused on me, and
Right. I'd rather keep it light too, and not like like I didn't beat myself up because I bought that case and I'm
No.
doing the project.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn it, yeah, it's helping me through the project. It's grunt work.
And those
that's-
are memorable. Those are core memories to you as an individual.
Right.
Right. I sat there and I had a couple beers and I painted that room.
Right.
Like the national championship. That's when I stopped drinking. Yeah, I didn't have to have 5 beers and then chase it with Woodford Reserve and regret my life the next day.
Was that with Richard? What you're talking about?
No, that was New Year's Eve.
Oh, okay.
That one led to I didn't drink until the Ohio State game. One of my good friends is a Notre Dame fan, so they were losing, so we drank, and I'm like, why do I have to drink that much?
Right.
Why can't I go back to when I was in the restaurants? I'd have 2 Bud Lights and be like, woo.
Right. Well, that was another thing. Like when you start drinking more, like you go out to dinner with people and people have like one drink and they're like, "Oh man, I'm like Marla. I'm pretty buzzing. I'm
like
buzzing
the
pretty
third
good."
old-fashioned, like,
And I'm
yeah.
like, I gotta go sneak a shot or something, And
Yep.
it's like I want to be able to get that same thing.
Yep.
Which-
Resetting yourself a little.
That's probably why I enjoyed that remodel so much. Is that not drinking for 2 weeks and then didn't take too many cooler lights to
Exactly. Oh, my next time I drink, I'm sure it'll take 2 beers, and I'll be like, it's the best day ever.
Yeah. Yeah, it is funny. It is wild to think like some of those guys make valid points about that.
It is
How that
poison
is.
to your body. It is.
You know what else I find kind of annoying too is like if you want to have a low carb beer or drink of any kind, it has to be in a skinny can. Like now I have to explain to people that I'm on a damn diet.
I got a skinny can.
Because I have a skinny can. It's like just put it in I don't want to have to buy a new koozie. Just put it in a regular size can so that I can just
Yep.
you know.
It makes you feel skinnier when you drink skinny cans.
I don't know why they do that. I'm just like somebody needs to make. I know that some local like Founders I think does like a seltzer drink. You can get a normal case, normal can.
Yep.
So they need to make more seltzers and like low carb beers like Michelob and stuff like that, and put it in a regular can.
Yeah.
But in Michelob's defense, they were doing the skinny can before anybody.
Yep.
But now it's like I
Michelob's
said,
great for the golf course too.
you
though.
show up with that, and people are, well, what diet are you on? What are you doing? Trying to lose some weight? It's like, no, I just wanted a low carb beer or a low carb drink.
Yeah.
They need to put those in. More companies need to come out and put them in regular size cans.
You heard it here.
Do it. Do it. But what else did I want to ask you about? So you do a lot of sports stuff, like baseball coaching.
Yep. So
I didn't know you did that.
If you, everyone that knew me growing up, when I said I was gonna have kids, I wanted to have like 7. I think we're stopped at 3. It was a dream of mine to be a coach of my kids throughout their whatever they're in. If it's cheerleading, shit, I'll do that.
Right.
Right. I just want to be there for them. I want to be able to teach them, show them the way, and be energetic. Right. No offense to any coach out there, but like when I did T-ball last year, man, it was so much fun. Get into it, lay on the ground with them, get them into it,
Right.
teach them, make it fun, make sports fun for the kids, and Make sure my kids don't feel pressured. If they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like my daughter's phenomenal at t-ball, or
Yeah.
t-ball, but that sport,
Yeah.
what it grows into, softball. She's throwing the ball great. She can hit both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Just doesn't care. I'm like, you're really good. She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
You know?
You don't want to press too hard.
But I want to be there for
not
them. I want them to look
yeah.
back and be like, man, my dad was such a good coach, and he
Yeah.
was there. And
It seems like you would be a good coach because, I mean, especially with the younger kids, you got to be able to like hold their attention.
Yeah.
And it seems like you'd have the energy to.
yeah, and I have
All right, guys, we're doing this. And
mentality
follow me,
of a
follow me.
7-year-old.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, it seems like you would definitely do really well as a coach. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure you do.
Being involved though with all of it, and even helping other kids is, it's the coolest thing. Walking up to the kid drop off, and all the kids say, "What's up, coach?"
Yeah.
Give me knucks. I'm like, God, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's cool to have the effect on kids and stuff. I know I love seeing like my Evan's buddies that come over here and hang out, and I kind of let them have their space and play games with them and stuff. It was a really fun one. He was actually playing last night with my buddies that were over. Their kids are the same age. We all had sons at the same
Nice.
time, pretty much. So they've been like almost like cousins,
Yeah.
But sure enough, my buddy comes out here. He's like, they got all the lights off in there and some creepy music playing because there's this game that we just kind of like developed over time where we kick off all the lights in the house. We strap a flashlight on a Nerf gun, like the good ones, the impact or whatever they're called, and then and we put on some scary. Me and Evan know a lot of good like soundtracks for movies, scary movies. So we'll just put on some eerie movie like through the speakers in the living room and just crank it up, and then you got to go and hide. And if you get shot, you're out. But if somebody comes and tags you, you can come back in, kind of thing, So we have fun. We'll go through and let everybody be at one time, and
Yeah.
but they try to do crazy stuff. They try to hide in the freaking dryer, and he tries to take everything out of the cupboards in the kitchen. It's
And
like
hide in-
they're gonna know you're in there because you took everything out of the cupboard. What are you doing? One time he tried to hide in the fridge. I'm like, dude, no.
No.
You broke some stuff.
Yep.
Let's not do that. Also, that it's dangerous. You can go in there because actually that scared the crap out of me when I was younger. 'Cause I was like, man, I would have done that. Like I heard like a story about a person who died on a freezer, like an old freezer that wasn't on. They tried to hide in there, and
They're locked.
when you get in there, it gets suction because you're breathing, so it gets negative pressure. So then they couldn't open the door, so they end up suffocating. And I'm like, younger me would have hid in that sucker like very
even
easily.
knowing,
What I'm
yeah.
saying? I would be like, oh, this is obviously a hiding spot. Like that's scary to think.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, that's fun. We have the little laser guns now, but kids are too young to.
yeah,
I can't shoot them, and then they get mad at me, and I'm like, all right, well, this game's over.
yeah. The laser ones are always, you always feel like somebody's cheating in there.
Yeah.
Like, you're covering your sensor.
Yeah.
They're tricky to play. My son kicked my ass last time we did laser tag at the All Skate.
Mm-hmm. That place is phenomenal.
I
still.
usually would beat him, but he was on.
Yep.
And he rubbed it in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's fun when they get to the age where they start getting competitive. He definitely kicks my ass at any video games
How old
now.
is he?
He'll be 13 in April.
Okay.
So
Yep.
yeah,
They
when it
start
comes
to challenge you.
man, we had some heated like Mortal Kombat and those fighting games. Like we did the Marvel. What's it called? Injustice was like.
Yeah.
But man, those get intense.
Mm-hmm.
Intense rounds. Like we're both standing up and yelling at the screen, and I can still hold my own on that pretty good. He thinks I'm just like hitting random buttons. He's always you're just
Button mashing.
yeah, button mashing. And I'm like, man, get out of here.
Yep.
You're doing the same thing. I do the same thing twice, and he just thinks like you're
Duck
just
down punch.
yeah, you're doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's just super competitive, but
Yep.
it's good to go through that. Get over it.
Mm-hmm.
Dad wins.
Yeah,
Dad gets to
I
win
always
sometimes.
Yep.
But yeah, he doesn't. He did basketball a little bit. I don't like you said. I don't pressure him to do the stuff. Basketball was interesting because I was like, yeah, I'll sign up to be assistant coach. They sent an email asking. It was that program they do in Chelsea, and I show up. There's no coach, so I'm the coach, and I'm like, I've never done that. Like, I played basketball my whole life, but
Yeah.
so I knew some enough drills. We made it through, but. Yeah, I definitely wasn't ready to be like the head coach. I feel like I kind of bombed during the games, like with times I should have called timeouts or, as far as like the stuff during the game. Like, it's just a whole other thing I didn't even think about. Like I was researching drills for that age group and, and setting up the defense and things. But they're so young, it was even hard to do like zone defense.
Exactly. They don't really catch on. Yeah. a core memory for me, I was in soccer. I was like 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
We were good. My brother and I were really good. Our coach didn't show up, similar.
Mm-hmm.
And my oldest brother stepped in to coach that day. We beat nobody.
Yeah.
We're playing the best team, the red team, I don't know, AYSO. And we whooped them. And he coached every single one of us. He had us in a huddle, and he was like, do this, do that, do that.
Mm-hmm.
We whooped them. And it was like a memory for me, like, God, I want to do that. I want to, like, step in and always.
Like you got to see, like, the night and day of, like, what a
coach,
good
a motivating
is.
coach of just to kids, to show them the sport of what it could be and what they're capable of, and speak to them and be real, and it's fun.
Yeah, I definitely have a lot of respect for you and all the people around that are coaching these kids and are passionate about it.
Yeah,
because it is important for sure.
Very. I mean, that's where a lot of people get leadership from too.
Yeah.
You know, you step into a basketball team, there's a captain.
Yeah.
There's a captain of that team, and he through life, that's huge. Football, baseball, whatever it might be. It's a team sport, too. So if they can rally the troops, you know.
Yeah. Well, so much of it, even on the pro level, like, you can see it. I don't watch a whole lot of, not like a huge sports guy, but, man, when these teams are on fire and moving, a lot of times there's no rhyme or reason. It's not, you can't just look at the stats and be like, oh, of course they are. A lot of it is just a culture thing. You know, you get the right coach in there that creates a new culture. Like what happened with U of M's football team, like you could just tell the culture was there, you know, and there was just like love in that team. Everyone just had affection for each other and wanted the best, and like this energy just happens. Or what happened with the Pistons back in the day, you know, like both times with the bad boys.
Pistons
you know?
now, they won 14 games last year.
Yeah.
They have 40 wins right now.
You can see
they're in the playoffs,
coming
and it's
up.
just like they changed nothing besides the coach.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you can almost see it in every team that shines. It is I mean, that's a big part of like even Jordan's like legacy was just like when he was on a team, or even LeBron now, like they say like he's almost like another coach. Like he's out there working with everybody, and that's why his teams, you know, statistically do so well. And like it is a culture thing above a lot. It's an energy culture manifestation thing, if you want to call it that. It's just like you got to have it. You can't just go out there dreary and getting your check. You know?
But, and that's the same in work too.
Yeah, life and work too. If you go around and you're, oh, of course that happened to me again. It's always bad. It's terrible. World's not set up for me to succeed. So that's like, where do you think you're going to end up with that attitude? You know, and it is a grind. We all know that.
Every day.
Yeah,
it's a blessing to wake up, but you got to keep going.
Yeah, I definitely find a lot of fulfillment in just building things and doing, you know, applying myself. If I'm, you know, video games work on it.
Yeah, no.
You know?
Yeah, they're fun. Like those are core memories of.
Oh yeah.
Playing 2 seasons of Madden in one night. Like,
yeah,
you know,
you also save a lot of money. Like when like I had a time where, you know, I wasn't going out to eat as much, and I was just like gaming and doing stuff, and it's like, because you bought it one time, you know, you buy it one time and you got it, and you got hours of entertainment.
And I stay at home.
Yeah, $60 one time, hours and hours free entertainment.
Yep.
You know, you can't go wrong with that.
My wife would always be like, "Why are you playing so much games? Like, would you rather have me at a bar?"
Right. You want me to buy a race car? Start racing at the track, like something dangerous.
But then when you look at, like you said, when you look at the amount put into one game, it's like, holy crap.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially when you know that, like, that's probably too much time. Like I have a business I'm trying to get going or whatever, and I'm somehow found 8
priorities.
days. Yeah.
Set them right.
Exactly. Yeah, 8 days a year is too much. I've seen that a few times. That's about what my average was at for like each Call of Duty game. You know, by the time the new one came out, it was about 8 days. 24 times 8, you know, hours. It was crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy.
And it's not like you just sat there for 8 days. No, it's broken up into like 6-hour increments a week or day.
Yeah. My son shares some of his time for stuff, and he's like smiling. I'm like, I don't think you'd be smiling a lot when you get older and doing that. But he could do, you know, he's younger.
Yeah.
But
when we had no responsibilities, really.
Yeah. I definitely played a lot of games when I was younger, but I also, like you said, there's a lot worse things I could have been doing, especially at those ages. You know, kept me out of trouble.
Well, if you were buying houses at 12, you'd be sitting pretty right now.
Oh yeah, I bought a house at 25 or 24, and I'm sitting pretty.
Yeah,
you know?
damn right.
I kind of do feel for younger generations just seeing the price of houses. You know, that's. Cause, so it's like you get the both. You know, like you're happy that you have all this equity, but at the same time, when you see that, it's like the other part comes in. It's like that also equals other people not having the same opportunity to buy a home.
Well, the income really hasn't followed the housing prices.
Yeah.
So like when I got my first salary job, it was like 36 grand. I was like, oh, I'm rich.
Right. Yeah.
Now that can't do anything.
No, I mean, when I
no
was,
offense, but
yeah.
it's really hard to live on that now.
Yeah. When I was younger, I thought 'cause I seen what my dad made, and I was like, okay, if I get to 6 digits, if I get to $100,000, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be able to have a place up north, a house, a boat, anything I want. 100 grand. That's the number. Let's go. Now it's like 100 grand can't even support a family.
No.
Like 100 grand should be able to pay for your house, your car, all your necessities, insurance, everything. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't.
No.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And when you go, that's why Grass Lake's popping right now. Because you got Jackson County taxes. So, Washtenaw County, I mean, I just sold a new house there and new build, $12,000 a year just in taxes. That's $1,000 a month right there.
Yeah.
On your mortgage. That's not including insurance and your principal.
Yeah, it's nuts.
That's.
Yeah, I would never do Ann Arbor.
It's just hard. I mean, it's
Right.
a lot of money out there. People have a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's different. There's.
If you want to be there, you want to be there. Yeah. I've worked there for a long time. I mean, it's a beautiful city, especially the campus is gorgeous, and I always appreciate working there. And when I'm walking through these diags and stuff, I'm just like, this is a pretty cool, pretty nice place,
Yeah.
But is it worth that taxes? Not for me. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like in Grass Lake complain about the myself included, complain about the water, prices. But my buddy at work, he lives in Ann Arbor, small house in Ann Arbor. He just told me that his water bill was $200. So I'm like, we're cheaper than Ann Arbor still for water, I think
hopefully we figure that out too
Yeah.
as a township.
It's at like $150 right now for like in the village.
Yeah.
That's about what I pay. But 200 is worse. So that kind of made me, that kind of
half
made me
the
feel
house
better.
and
Yeah.
but you have, I guess, more restaurants and more
Yeah.
whatever.
I've thought, I definitely, working in Ann Arbor, I've looked here and there, but it was wild to see, like what I pay for a mortgage here, I couldn't even get an apartment.
Yeah, no.
With 1-bedroom apartment in Ann Arbor. I wouldn't be able to touch it, which is crazy. It just sucks for a lot. Like, it sucks to be in that spot. Luckily, I wasn't in it like for too long, but when you're renting an apartment for $1,600 a month, trying to get into a house, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get into a house, and because you're renting, you're paying somebody else's mortgage, you're paying somebody else's loan off, and everybody should have the opportunity
There's no return on
to
that
be
money.
a property owner and to get an appreciating asset. And
Yeah. Because right now, if you sell, you're getting a check. If you go and stop renting, you're not getting a check.
Yeah.
You got to pack your stuff and move.
you don't own an asset. You don't own the asset.
There's
I
no
feel
responsibility,
like
kind of,
Yeah.
right? But home ownership is where it's at. Investing is where it's at.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't have, investment accounts, and this is the only real investment they make is their house, and I almost feel like, we have such bad spending habits as Americans. Like, people get in debt. I feel like the houses are what saves so many people, because a lot of people go crazy with their credit cards or buying toys or whatever. They end up in a sticky spot. They refinance their house, pay
Cash
off
out.
stuff.
Yep.
And they might do that 3-4 times, but it's like, because what saved them was having an appreciating asset that they could pull from.
And when you're in foreclosure, I mean, I've sold numerous now. Like, I can't make my mortgage. I only owe about 30, but I just can't. Their bank's going to take it. We sold it. I mean, one example, sold it, and he got a $90,000 check. He couldn't make his mortgage, but he just got a $90,000 check to kind of restart.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's
rent.
huge. Yes, I'm
renting,
saying.
you don't get that
wanna
opportunity.
Whether you want to stay there and pay off some stuff, or what, you find yourself in a bad situation. Now you have this asset that can kind of help get you out of the,
And it pushes you
that's why
too.
I think it's important is that everybody has access to be able to do that, because it is a good safety net for people.
And it pushes you to be like our first mortgage. If I could go back and have that mortgage payment, oh, that'd be amazing, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then you get into this uncomfortable new mortgage. You're like, oh, are we house broke? And now that mortgage is like, oh, that's nothing now.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
It helps you. You progress. Your money's growing. It pushes you a little bit further. That's what I always tell the first-time home buyers, stuff like that. I said, I understand that payment's uncomfortable. You're growing. Your career's going to grow. You're going to make more money. That payment will eventually be like, oh, God, that was so nice.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like that thing they say about, like, pay yourself first, like, because you'll figure out everything else. Like, so if you have a goal, put that away, because you're going to find a way to make that payment or make that thing. So it's kind of like that. I guess it's kind of part of that manifesting thing. Like you're just basically saying, I have no choice. I'm doing it.
I'm gambling on myself. I think I can make this payment right now, and in the long run, in 2 years, easy.
Oh, you attract more money, something happens.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Because sometimes when if you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I'm saving money, I can't be spending money. It's like sometimes that gets you in a certain vibration that's not going to really help you grow, or might keep you stuck because you have like a lack mindset on what you can or you're capable of.
Yep.
I think about it sometimes. Like I don't have a car payment, and I really don't mind not having a car payment or having an older car. Which is another reason why I'm like, why is $100,000 not good enough when I don't even have a car payment?
Yeah.
There's people out there with bigger houses, more mortgage, a car payment.
Yeah.
Probably like how
Yeah.
are they doing? Am I really going out to eat that much?
Right.
Like, where's my money going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taxes.
But I think about sometimes like I should just go out and get because the same thing is like I'll get that and the payment will become normal or more money will
It'll
come.
be uncomfortable
like,
for 3 months.
Do I really believe I know I'm capable of, so I've been driving down by the lots and being like, and I know a brand new car is a terrible investment because it's, you lose so much, but it's also a new paint job, new attitude kind of thing. Now you're cruising around in this nice vehicle. I feel like $1 million. Let's go make $1 million.
Yeah. Yeah. And I pull up in my, same to you.
That's a nice work truck, man.
2004.
I was actually just looking at it. I was like, that thing is clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sold guy's house and he had it in a heated barn. I'm like, what are you going to do with that? He's like, I don't know, $3,000. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All day.
$3,000.
And it's been phenomenal.
I can't believe you got that for $3,000.
Yeah.
That is right place, right time.
Yeah, we sent it to the shop. We got a guy that runs the Cadillac workshop, and he's like, dude, there's nothing wrong with this truck.
Yeah, it looks mint, man. I was
It's a little rust, but that's Michigan. But, man, put a gangster stereo inside, and we're rocking.
Yeah. Did you do that like when you were younger? Did you have the system?
Yeah, subwoofers. And I put it in this, too. I just put side speakers in because my wife won't let me do the big speakers.
Yeah.
I can't be that big of a kid anymore.
I used to have the Rangers, and I had this little plastic little KRK kicker on there. Our kicker was the brand, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I had a little 10-inch speaker, which is enough for that tiny little cab.
Yep. It bumps.
And I had it hooked up to a little dial. So, because I feel like you always have to be able to adjust the sub for any song. Because like this song, you might want a lot of sub.
Yeah.
This song, you might
the
want
high frequency lows and.
So I had a little dial where I could turn it down and up, which is kind of the same way I have my studio set up now. So I got my speakers and I got my sub, a little special dial for the sub. Yeah, I like that low end.
Yep.
I keep saying I was gonna put one in for the Prius because me and my son likes to just cruise and listen to music. And he's always showing me songs, and he's a big music kid. He loves listening to all kinds of stuff. I like to
feel it. That's the thing. Like the bass it's not about. I had loud ones where your hair would. Flow, and it made no sense. You couldn't hear the words. But then the other sense, it's like I want to be able to crank up my music and
right. Yeah, I never liked it like too crazy where it's rattling screws in the car or loose.
I did it one time. I'd spent a lot of money on it. I sold it.
Man, that would scare the crap out of you, man. I was in cars when I was younger, getting my buddy Chris had like a crazy system. He put in his mom's car. Like
in your ears, you're just like,
yeah.
whoa.
When it first hits your chest, you're like, I think I'm dying. Stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't think this is normal. Like, my organs are vibrating at a crazy frequency.
Yep, I loved that.
Yeah, when they went, like, you'd get in some, he'd be like, yeah, check this out. He puts on freaking system of the down and like crazy sub. You're like, what?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's a crazy sensation. Some of those people I see online, like I see some videos and.
Boston Outback windows and
you ever see a Windows wave? You're like, what kind of weird
you can't
physics
listen to that
is
naturally.
this?
You can't just enjoy it though.
Yeah, it's crazy that glass can flex like that. Like the window will be going like this. You're like, we live in a simulation. Like this is like
it's kind of like the pencil thing, right? So it's really just vibrating,
right?
But it gives it that
wavy.
Look.
Yeah, it's wild to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also crazy to see how the hair thing when people's hair start going crazy.
I had that with the sub. We had the sunroof, and you would crank it up, and they would go. Yeah, like I said.
What kind of car was it?
It was a Mitsubishi Montero Sport SUV. So I had 3 12s in the back.
Oh wow.
2 amps. I had to have gold plugs on my battery. I also would melt them. Yeah, that was a waste of money.
Yeah,
it was fun.
I think a lot of people back in the day was doing that. The little blue, you pick your color light, put it underneath your dash. It's usually going to be blue or red. There's like 3 colors to pick
air
from.
Fresheners around the mirror.
Yeah. So you had the lights, and I think I even did like the little rope light thing around and I used to do it like replace a lot of headers like on the inside. Take off the whatever fabric was on there and put something else on there.
Yeah.
You know, we were all pimping out our cars.
Oh, yeah.
I did a lot of interior stuff for people. Like I would replace the carpet on the panels
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that and make it all match. And just stupid. My buddy had like red carpet, you know, it was just silly, but we
Yep.
all thought it was, you know.
Yeah, I had the Blazing Blazer. That
Yeah.
was mine. That was my high school vehicle pimped out.
Blazing Blazer.
The Blazing Blazer.
I won't ask why it was called the Blazing Blazer. So,
Smoked a little.
you also doing something with the township, right? Did that start yet? Your appointment? Didn't you?
Yep. So I'm trustee on the
Trustee.
board as of, I think my first appointment was mid-December.
Yeah.
So it's fun. The first couple of months was hard. You're just kind of there with the public, doing our open meetings, and not really knowing what's going on yet. Now we're meeting more often.
Mm-hmm.
We're all kind of forming, right,
Mm-hmm.
as a group, and that's what's huge. Like I'm on the sewer now. Like I just joined in and volunteered to join the sewer discussion with Sabrina and John, because the sewer needs to be addressed. Because you're paying a lot for water right now, right? There's a
Right.
lot of water in town that we need to fix.
Right.
And that's a huge thing coming up. I want to be involved. No real estate benefit. I want to be involved because I'm outside of town. I'm on well and septic, but I want to know for, my kids are living here too. I want
Right.
to know what's going on in town.
Well, I mean, a community thrives when people are picking up the ball and making things happen, and it relies on people caring enough to pick up the ball.
Yeah, make
whether it's
educated
coaching
decisions
or-
and
yeah. Sounds like you're doing it in a lot of ways between coaching and what you're doing with the township. And so I know a little bit about what trustees do, but can you elaborate a little bit? Like, so trustees not on the board at all. You're kind of there with them, but you're handling a lot of the different tasks for the board kind of thing.
Yeah, no, not really. So we can appoint ourselves to those, like the sewer, right? Volunteer to be in on the
Committee,
meetings.
yeah.
Committee. But the trustee, really, I'm there to hold people accountable. We're there to vote on stuff, have educated decisions, because there's 4 trustees,
Okay.
right? So if you got John, you got treasurer, and then Scott Bray, me, Tina, and Matt are the other. Matt Renfro are the trustees. We vote on stuff. We're not really making decisions, but we're allowed to discuss and hold people accountable,
Yeah.
which is huge.
So when they have their meetings, you're still like kind of on the board. So you're still doing the same. So a trustee is just a board member, right?
Yep.
Okay, but it's not like the chair, vice chair,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay, so like the DDA, we have trustees too. For some reason, I thought it was like a whole different. I'm new to boards. So I'm
It's
still
same.
like
It's the
learning.
same. Like we're there. We're allowed to. We have a meeting like today's Sunday. We have a meeting tomorrow. We group up. It's open. Public can come sit in on it. We discuss items that are coming up to be on the open public meeting. So twice a month we meet. We make sure we have packets. We have information. We have things we want to discuss, and then we go to the public meeting, and we discuss it there.
Nice.
We make decisions based on what was discussed here. We do our homework, and then when we come to vote, we vote on
Get the
stuff.
public comments and then get to vote on it. Yeah.
Yep, and the public comment is great. I mean, the solar thing, I understand that. It's very frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of heads. I mean, because it's going to happen in a community that's expanding, like the way Grass Lake is. And There's so many businesses coming in to seize opportunities, and I see a lot of people. What's crazy is it's a very sticky subject. I see it all over the forum, but like that logging operation, I go by one day and I see that they're building this barn, and it's got a roof, it's got the trusses in there and the walls in there and everything, and I'm like, oh, they're moving on it. They already had the footing poured and everything. I drive by like the next day, and it's just knocked down. It looked like it was just knocked down out of anger. Like
The
like,
wind.
the wind actually took it down.
Yeah, the wind.
Oh, I thought maybe like they got in trouble, like
because it was just sticks. I mean, it's just boards at that point. Until you get that structure wrapped, those things are. It might look like
what
it's
wait, like that.
Remember that
were
day
they
it
trying to
was-
build themselves or
no. The Amish were there doing it. I mean,
so it wasn't knowledgeable. It just happened to be a bad.
that was windy last Saturday. It was like 50-mile-an-hour gusts.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what happened with that because I keep hearing like, oh, they didn't do this, they didn't pull this permit, do that, So I thought maybe somebody came knocking and said, you didn't get a approval for that.
Yeah,
knock
no.
it down.
No, it's been approved now.
I just picture someone being like, "I'll knock it down right now, damn it!"
Yeah.
Out
Yeah.
of anger, just grabs the front end loader.
Yeah.
So that sucks. But hopefully the builder is insured and
Oh, yeah.
doesn't
I'm
cost
sure.
the guy.
But that's, there was a big stink about that too. I mean, you got to go about things the right way, and people need to be held accountable.
Yeah.
They make decisions, and that's 1,000% accurate.
Yeah, I mean, there is, being on boards and understanding and getting like Robert Lu's rules of order and stuff like that. It's like you understand like that it is a foundation of why society even functions and works. Like, and we have to respect that, even though sometimes it makes things move slower.
And makes some people
some
angry
areas
and some happy.
Yeah.
We got to make decisions based on where we're growing, where we're going, without handcuffing or growing too fast.
Right. Yeah.
You can't really control the growth.
Yeah.
You can try to help manage it.
And it seems like there's a lot of people stepping up, like seeing, because that's the only way to really have the control. You can't just sit at home and type on forums, and the real action and real change happens from getting out there and getting involved and joining committees.
And contesting people and challenging and, again, holding people accountable is huge.
And it's amazing, even if you're just out there rubbing shoulders with those people that are on these boards and things, you'll get pulled into a committee. You can be on a committee without being on a board, and now you're having an effect on this specific thing, whether it's, for me, I'm a lot of times getting pulled into marketing committees or something,
Obviously.
Well, it makes sense, but that's also because, so I did a couple committees before I joined the DDA, the vice chair. And that's been interesting when I end up having to like lead the meetings. Like when I first started, it was like 2 weeks in, like, oh, looks like you're leading the meeting today. And I'm like, okay. I'm just learning this stuff, but it's a good team over there, and they're able to help me through it. Let me know when I miss things. Yeah. But because you got to run it the way it's supposed to be ran.
Someone's going to call you out.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Especially like I talked about this before, but a really cool thing I did, I took those 2 acts that govern a DDA from Michigan and put it in the ChatGPT, and now it's like my lawyer. So it's like, is this allowed? Is that, because, we spend a lot of money on lawyers just asking them, but basically reference those 2 docs. Yep. And that's all they're doing, And I think sometimes too, when people contact lawyers, it's easy for the lawyer wants to get hired again. So if they can tell in the tone of your voice that you want it one way, because like the way laws are, it's just like, it's always about wording. So anything's possible. You just got to word it and set it up a certain way, And it feels like there can almost be a biasness from your tone when you call them, like, somebody wants to do this, and I don't think it's right, but, oh, yeah, you're right, I don't think that's right either because of this, and then they agree with you. And it's like, I want a completely unbiased, like, is this okay? Yeah. And what I've realized is a lot of times it's always yes. Just make sure you word it this way. Make sure you don't do this, It's but it's been a great tool, because there's a lot of times when discussions come up and I've already got the answer. But I don't tell them. Like, I haven't made that like a resource at the meetings yet, but I kind of want to, because I'm like,
it's taken over.
It really takes so much time to. All right, let's table this till we talk to the lawyer. Then now in the next meeting, now we have a note from the lawyer who will tell us the same thing every time. It has to be worded this way. So then now we have to, before we move forward, have somebody take what the lawyer said and make sure we have a worded doc worded right for this or whatever. This takes so much time, whereas we can just jump to
which
the
is
pocket
12
lawyer.
meetings a year, right?
Right.
I mean, that's hard to accomplish a lot, but that's kind of how the committees run.
Yeah, I'm sure you see that on the township too. You guys meet once a month.
Once a month.
Yeah.
And second Tuesday.
Every 3 months is a public, or?
No, every month is public.
Oh, okay.
So the second Tuesday of every month.
So you guys meet another time too?
And then we do the open meeting like the 4th Monday of every week. So people are allowed to come in and sit in and
every
see
month. Okay.
So you can see what we're talking about, and
so you're doing 2 meetings a month plus the committee meeting if you're on it.
One meeting leads to the next month's open committee.
Right.
So we're making decision or open meeting.
So what's the hope with the sewer?
To expand it, be able to, because we got a lot of buildings that are ready to pop up.
Right.
We got Andover is going to add a crap load more homes. You got 3 build-outs, like subdivisions, that are just waiting.
Right.
But they need to be on sewer, but we're maxed. We're capped out. We can't take on any more. You could do well and septic all day.
Yeah, we can't do that for a big development.
No.
Yeah.
No. So once those happen, I mean, developments are going to pop, but we got to get on it. We got to get it done because,
And where were the funds? What's the approach for funding? That's the hard part, right?
That's the hard part. There's a grant that's available to us, and that's something I'm still learning because Leone really controls our sewer.
Yeah, that's another thing that AI can be really helpful with. Is like grant applications.
Yeah,
for sure.
And Sabrina brought it up last month. It was like $110,000 just to get the process started. to try to
hire a
even,
knowledgeable person that can get you the.
no, we got to do a bunch of tests to the sewer
Oh,
before
wow.
we can go further. And it's like 110 grand
Wow.
just to start it.
Kind of want to see. Can we get all the line items on this? I want to see what you're charging me. You know, like, but some things like I work in public safety, and that industry is just overpriced anything. You know, because it's just like it's public safety. A lot of money comes from grants and comes from, you know, comes from the federal government. So it's just high priced. I mean, just same thing with when you do contract work for the government.
Yep.
You know, they're paying $100 a bullet probably. You know.
Which
Because
is
it's just
crazy.
that, and so when you hear numbers like that, you just think like that's probably what it is because they know that the money's coming from grants and federal funds.
People got to do it, so
So-
they're going to get paid.
It's just inflated. It's not really the fair market value for the services. It's just set up that way because of
Yep.
where the money comes from,
Yep.
which makes things harder. But I know a lot of that's one thing when I came out here. A lot of times when I mention Grass Lake to people, they're like, "Oh man, they screwed me." Like, because like, I'll bump into a guy who invested in one of these
Oh,
lots to put in, thinking that they were going to have sewer because they let the sales happen.
yep.
And then they didn't find out until they had already put their sign out front and had plans and stuff that they were never going to be able to build there.
Yep.
You know?
For a while. Like, even
Yeah.
if we do implement it, it's going to be a couple of years.
Yeah. Well, that's what we need, definitely. That would be crazy.
But this main strip, I mean, all those businesses being sold and starting to pop up. Like, Comerica Bank is going to be sold, and
Who knows what's going to be there?
who knows? You know, there's a lot of these businesses, but I am so excited. Because I ride my bike into town, and I can ride my bike and, like, stop and Asher Creek, get one of the sandwiches.
Yeah. I was
Right?
there,
Let's go get lunch.
I was there for breakfast today. Me and Marlon went in there, got a coffee, got a breakfast, and then she went back with her mom because her mom's actually hired Heather to cater the bridal shower that she's having here next weekend
Nice.
for Marla's sister. So
Nice.
they went and met with her. You know,
Yep.
it's just cool. It's cool to be involved with the businesses too and talk to them, go in there, talk
Support
to
'em.
Mike and Heather. They're both great. Of course, Matt and Carrie. You know, I've been friends with them for a long time.
GL Nutrition. I abuse GL Nutrition.
What's that?
GL Nutrition downtown.
Oh yeah,
I abuse that.
Yeah.
I love those drinks.
you like it? I should dip in there and have more of those.
Yeah.
You
a
get-
lot of caffeine
Yeah,
in those teas, but it'll get you going for 3 kids. So.
yeah. I gotta go in there and try one. So there's like I thought it was like a shake. They do shakes and stuff.
They have
too?
shakes too.
They have like protein shakes and
Yeah.
like-
And then
so
they have the bomb teas,
yeah.
or, you know, I don't know what they're called, super teas, whatever.
And those
Loaded
are-
with caffeine and your vitamins and stuff for the day.
Ooh, yeah. I gotta go in there one like evening when I need a boost. Sometimes I have those evenings where I want to get a lot done, and I'll get me one of those like 5-hour energies, which
Yep.
gets me cranking pretty
One of the
good.
big Celsius is my go-to. But,
Yeah,
But those, like I said, those GL Nutrition, I like it. It's a local company again.
yeah.
But yeah, you can't go wrong if you want
It-
to clean the
they're
house
like-
real good.
Yeah, they're like really close with Heather and Mike next Asher Creek too. I mean, are like
Yep.
they always have that door open, going back and forth, and it seems
Yep.
like I think they have some of their kids work over there
Yeah,
too.
one of their
and-
daughters
yeah.
is the main one over there.
Yeah,
And then, you know, Cattleman's, you can't go wrong getting a dirty chai from them.
yeah,
That's the best thing I've ever had.
yeah. Those are good. Yeah, I'm glad that we kept the coffee shop. It was nice when Pat and Brett had the Roman goat, and I'm glad that somebody else picked it up and kept it a coffee shop. It was a perfect little
Yeah.
cute coffee shop location. Perfect.
You
know?
need them.
Yeah. That's kind of like the first thing I seen after living here for 14 years. Like that was like really refreshing when they opened up Roman Goat. You know, I was like, oh, this is,
Okay. They're
you know,
trying.
like I could see this in any town or city. Like I'm like this makes me proud to see this. Like, and
Yep.
then now it's just scaling like crazy. So you think the sewer is okay for what we currently like? Do you think there's gonna be issues as those buildings
No.
get developed? This is more for like the
yeah,
development.
well, most of those buildings
neighborhoods.
will have to do some addressing to them.
Right.
I don't even know if those old buildings are connected to the sewer.
Oh wow.
That's the crazy part. So
Yeah.
they'll be handcuffed, but they'll be influencing the drive as well.
But
Right?
they can still tie in. It's there. Yeah. But so the discussions about these like development sites that we want. Yeah, because there's a lot of demand. I'm sure you know that a lot of people want to live out here.
Everyone's waiting. I have buyers
Yeah.
just waiting.
Yeah.
Wait, like,
I think
hey,
the
babes.
location is so good because I always say this, like, it's right in the middle of the state. You know, like I can get to Lake Michigan in 2.5 hours. You know, when I go up north, I don't have to drive 275. I get to drive 127. I can drive from the bridge all the way like to 94 without even taking off the cruise control.
Yep.
I love driving 127 up north.
Yep.
You know,
And it's beautiful everywhere
Yeah.
you go. We got lakes everywhere too.
Yep. We do river raising. We kayak that all the time. There's so many rivers that you can jump on and do a day trip.
Yep.
Little ponds and lakes you can go canoe.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want to date, you can come right here. But you can get to Ann Arbor. You can get to Detroit fairly easy.
Yep.
You
You
just
go Jackson, you go Chelsea, boom.
Yep. Yeah, I always like the location. I feel like it's just.
Mm-hmm.
And riding my bike, man, I can ride for hours and see. I love doing like all these dirt roads over here, like south of town, southeast of town, and it's just like, oh, there's like a butcher place over here, and like you see these weird farms and weird like.
And then there's massive homes.
Whole another world over there,
Yeah.
So I just get lost and just zigzag all through there, and beautiful dirt roads and properties.
Yeah.
It's a pretty fun, area to bike for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it. It's a definitely a good area, and I like that it's fun to watch it grow for sure.
Yeah.
This is going to be interesting to see like the next 5-10 years. It's just going to be completely different.
Yep. Yep. Born and raised here, man. Like I said, it's been kind of the same since I've been here. There's always been like 2 or 3 restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're seeing where it can go.
Yeah, and it just creates more synergy. Like, if I was doing like work for a local lawn care company, I wouldn't have another client that was a lawn care. I wouldn't compete against myself, kind of thing. But with restaurants, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Like because we've talked about it before,
Bring 'em
but
in.
like one time, me and Marla went to Prate's place. Prate's place was closed. We ended up over at Asher Creek, and they actually ended up going over to the parlor because we were just like, we're going out in Grass Lake. Well, that was busy,
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times when you do a date night, you want to do like, oh, let's go get food here, and then we'll go get ice cream from here.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can do that. You can go eat at Prate's place, go get ice cream from Asher Creek, walk down to the lake, or so.
Or if they have music on Wednesdays out there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's becoming one of those cute, cool
Yeah.
little towns, man.
Yeah, I think what Mitzi and them are doing with the Grass Lake market is really smart. I think one day a month, having a big and shutting down the street. I miss those days when they used to shut down the street because that's what you do in a downtown. You shut down the street, you reroute people. Then it's like right in your face. It's like you might as well stop. You're getting rerouted. There's a parking spot right there.
Yeah.
Get out of your car and come hang out. Instead of kind of tucking it. I like the pavilion, but I like the idea of just shutting down Michigan Avenue and just letting people come out. And then the businesses are also right
Drive in
there.
during that
Walk
time,
right in and grab an ice cream from
Yep.
or a drink or a tea.
Yep.
That's the way it definitely should be, and I think that's going to be great for the downtown businesses too. I'm excited to do that, and I think I'm going to become a sponsor too for that. It'll be fun.
It's worth it. Like I said, just helping whatever way you can too.
Yeah, it's definitely a good time. We're gonna get a golf league going too. Some virtual golf league.
Yep.
But man, it was really nice talking with you. Definitely gonna get back with you about the site. We'll do some fun stuff for sure.
Like I said,
Collaborate.
what you have available is pretty amazing.
Yeah, we'll do some videos or do some fun stuff, but we'll definitely collaborate in some way.
Yep.
It's always fun to work with people, and I mean, I really like niching down. I like a lot. Some of my favorite clients are the people that I get to see every day. I feel like so much more connected going in for a coffee, knowing I've worked with that business and help that business out and have a relationship with them. Like,
Exactly. That local connection.
Yeah. And man, Matt is really fun to watch over there with what he's doing. Definitely going to watch that grow. I know he wants to do, talked about catering coming soon. And
Well, we got all those baseball games. I mean, why wouldn't you take a food truck over there and smoked meats, whatever it might be?
There's also a lot of wedding venues popping up south of us, like in Napoleon and things. I was amazed. That's actually where Marla's sister's getting married. And I was amazed at how many barns are over there for weddings. And
such a simple venue.
Yeah. And people love it.
Yep.
And it's a great backdrop for a wedding, But that opens up a lot of opportunities for catering and, really needs to be some kind of hotel. People love to get hotel rooms when they go to a wedding and drink it at the reception till 11.
And we don't have anything. We have
There's
a couple
nothing.
short-term rentals, but
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, that's like the sticky part. I mean, they were even struggling with that. Where were we going to stay? That's one thing that's kind of missing in that area. But the area of the Eagles, I work with them too. That's a really beautiful location too in Grass Lake for weddings. And any event, that small barn up in the front, that's a beautiful meeting spot for something.
Yep.
You know, I feel like that gets kind of underutilized for as,
We had a
as
meeting
nice
there.
as it is.
Yeah, with the Jackson Chamber, we met up there. That was fun.
Yeah, there's a good event coming up. This podcast will be out after the event, but for you, at Robin Hill Farms on Wednesday, there's like a multi-chamber event.
Oh,
So it's
really?
Grass Lake Chamber, Jackson Chamber, Dexter, a bunch of chambers are meeting up. So it's gonna be a cool little networking event. Me and Marla plan on stopping there.
I'll be at Atlas, my mom's birthday. Have you been to Atlas yet in Brooklyn?
No, I haven't. I think you told me about this last time. I need to go.
Do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
They
we're going to
got
make it out.
They got a machine going there too. That's pretty neat to see.
Is that a brewery or a
Fine
restaurant?
dining restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a note after I stop this recording so I can not forget. Because
it's just crazy. We walked in and I was like, they have a little market. You can buy meats and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, you're in Brooklyn still, but it doesn't feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
Open kitchen. You're watching them cook. I love watching that.
I definitely value your opinion if you're recommending restaurants. Because I think you know your stuff.
We took the kids and it was,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, we're coming back without the kids. And we went back and it was like appetizers were on point. The service is on point.
Mm-hmm.
It was good to see.
Yeah. Just a
was good.
well-oiled machine.
And they
Well, you
put-
appreciate it more than anybody when you see that.
mhm.
You know.
Yep.
I feel like you'd be great to do like a series on like food reviews or something like local
I would
food
love
stuff.
to.
Because I mean, anytime you watch something like that, you want just like that instilling confidence. And we were talking about like you want to make sure they know their stuff. You definitely know your stuff with restaurants.
Yeah. Like
you know?
Aka Sushi.
Mm-hmm.
I will always support them. They're so consistent.
Yeah, now we're delivering value. Somebody listening to this is gonna be like, "Oh man, yeah, any more restaurant recommendations?"
Common Grill all day, but Grateful Crow. I mean, there's all of them.
Do you like the new? Well, they not so new no more, but Common Grill. You think it's just like shifting ownership?
Same crew.
Same
crew. I mean,
Yeah.
you go there, you got Sean Allen rocking the kitchen and all the staff, and
Yeah.
you know, there's still probably a handful of people that I hired.
Yeah.
And all the wait staff still the same. There's a different back end to it. Craig's not there, you know, the dude.
Yeah.
But we went in there a couple weeks ago, me and two of the old front of house managers, and we had a great night.
Yeah. That place is always this. I mean, it's just like such a clean, like breezy, like fun atmosphere. Like when you're in there, you know, just everything kind of feels
fresh
clean,
food,
like,
and-
fresh.
and- yeah.
Like the oyster. I just picture the oysters every time when we always get the oysters. And
You have to.
Yeah.
I crave them.
Yeah. I'm craving them. Right when you said it, that's like I tasted
Like,
it.
all right.
You know.
Yep.
I could taste it, you know. Yeah. That's always a good go-to.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Atlas, Common Grill, and the Aka. You said
Aka Sushi in Jackson.
Yeah, I've had
I'm telling
Aka
you,
a few times.
I've been everywhere. Like, I always get sushi.
Mm-hmm.
But that place, if I don't order over like $100 worth of sushi, they're like, Blake, are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
They like catch me, and I'm like, all right, no, add this and this.
And that's
'Cause
like a franchise, isn't it? Kind of. I don't know.
I think they own another one.
Okay.
But most of the staff there, I've
It's
just
set up
known-
very much like a franchise would be. Like it's ready to be franchised, which you should design any business like
Yeah.
a franchise.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's always just been so comfortable there.
Yeah.
It's so consistent. I'm a big sushi takeout kind of person because I eat way too much.
Right.
So we always get it to go. And I mean, I've had, I think, one issue in my 12 years I've been eating there, maybe more, however long they've been open.
I went most of my life without even trying sushi. And
Really?
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
like maybe 5 years ago. I had like sushi for the first time, and I was like hooked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. My chef always told me, make sure you try everything you're making.
Mm-hmm.
When I first came out, because I was like, you know, VI, I was making dino nuggets, fries.
Right.
And I come in, I'm like, what's asparagus, right? Or what's this? And the chef was like, try everything you touch. Okay. Oyster. I'm like, what the heck is this? And now I love them.
Yeah.
Right? You just kind of, you got to try.
That was another thing I was pretty old when I first had it. I'm like, you don't chew it? What?
No,
I don't
shoot
understand.
it. You can chew it.
Sometimes I'll do like a light little bite, you know, but I don't like chew it, you know.
Yeah.
Just want it in there a little longer. Man, I want some freaking oysters right now.
Yep. I can shuck. Let's do it.
I see somebody would do that getting I mean, as you save a lot obviously you save a lot of money doing it yourself, but where do you buy oysters like that from?
Whole Foods.
Whole Foods?
I bought 12 the other day from Bush's in Dexter.
Yeah.
So it's like $1.50 a piece. They're Blue Point oysters from Maryland or from the East Coast.
They were but $1.50 a piece?
$1.50 a piece. It was
Wow.
Sunday afternoon. I was showing some houses out there, and I'm like, I'm stopping. I always buy big fillets of salmon. I'll clean them, slice them up into little chunks, and freeze them. So I can always pull those out. But I was like, this time I'm getting oysters. Shucked them real quick.
Yeah.
And no one else ate them. My kids are like, what the heck?
Mm-hmm.
You can pull crabs out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
But they're good. I mean, it's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Get all your fixins and horseradish and all that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the fun part is getting
Capers.
It's like, oh
Yeah.
man, you're in heaven when they bring out that plate and you got each one is an experience. I'll put a little bit of this on
Yeah.
there, a little bit of this sauce,
Lemon.
a little bit more lemon juice on this one. Like
Yep.
you're just dancing because it's good.
Yep.
Getting that happy food dance.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I guess I'm hungry.
We need an oyster bar downtown.
That'd be nice. But I mean, like Asher Creek, they're always talking about doing like they did lobster the other day. Like Mike wants to do all kinds of crazy stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if he's just like, hey, we're
Oyster
doing
night.
oyster. We're gonna have oysters, or like randomly. I mean, he just seems like he's just
I'll offer myself.
experimenting all
I can
kinds of
shuck
stuff.
oysters like crazy.
Yeah. Is that tricky? Is it take some muscle
It's
to
just
get those popped
muscle.
open?
That's the thing that people mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Like putting our no, it's all about the twist and the finesse of cracking that shell. Because
Yeah.
if you go too hard and you break the shell, now you're digging into it and you're probably chewing the oyster out.
All right.
Just finesse the pop
The speed,
and
just pop
cleaning
it.
it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do them in. Yeah,
Something
I posted
else,
a video the other day. I mean, I did
You know,
like 12
that-
of them.
Yeah, I think I seen that video. I think that's why that popped in my head
Uh-huh.
of like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that
I
was
still got it. Still got it.
yeah, man. I'm definitely gonna have to learn some things from you. I'd like to get a bag and try that.
Well,
I
we'll
mean,
some golf balls and shuck some oysters.
Yeah, maybe have you help me the first time. But yeah, me and Mara love to have. I mean, that's like our special treat when we're out and really celebrating. Getting that as an appetizer, oysters, you can't go wrong.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's I think we're getting to our time, man. I really appreciate you coming, and definitely have to have you on again. And
I appreciate it.
yeah, we'll be in touch. I
Yeah.
see you around town all the time, so
Yeah.
it's always good hanging out with you.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Thank you.